It is time for your WIN podcast for super busy professionals sharing transformational moments. Your host, Chu Tang.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Your Win podcast. Today, I have my very special guest with me, Laura Kim. Laura, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome. So let's get started, right? Would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Laura Kim. I am a first generation or second generation Korean American. I was the only one of my family born here in the United States. My parents are from South Korea, and I am also Gen Z. I'm 28, and I am a personal life coach. I had
Mhm.
dreams of becoming a psychiatrist and a counselor,
Mhm.
but life kind of led me here, and we'll get more into that in this podcast, actually. So, yeah, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to share my journey and my healing as well.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you the first question out of my mind.
Yeah.
Could you describe what is trauma?
Yeah, so trauma, I think generally, in my definition, I think, and from what I've read, is really just can be any event that happens to you that
Mhm.
causes emotional, physical, and psychological effects, maybe even damage. And it
Mhm.
affects our sense of worth, it affects our sense of self.
Oh,
And so it can either be one single event or with me, complex PTSD, it can be multiple events, ongoing
wait,
events.
wait, let's talk more about what you just said, the
Yeah,
complex PTSD. Yeah, I
yeah.
never heard of that before.
Yeah, and it's actually not even really recognized. I think this is also very new and it's very liberating for us
Hmm.
because people who suffer under a lot of other mental illnesses, they don't realize they also have complex PTSD. Often it stems from childhood. Often it
Oh,
when you witness something as a child and you also have that damage as a child and it continues on because it has affected your anxiety and causes depression and all of that. So it's
mm.
complex. It's complex for a reason. It's ongoing. It's not just one event. It's a lot. It's continuous.
Okay, so how do you know that you have, let's say, how do you even know that you have PTSD?
I think a lot of times we don't realize it until we're kind of at rock bottom or kind of
Oh,
really feeling the symptoms of mental illness and really hard anxiety and a lot of times we go to seek the mental health care,
yeah,
but it looks different for everybody. I know for
yeah,
me it started with therapy. It started
uh-huh,
with just talking about it and what happened to me as a child
yeah.
and what I witnessed. So that was really it.
Oh,
Yeah, for me.
wow, it must took a lot of courage for you to actually come
I
out.
think, yeah, and you know
Wow.
what? This also reminds me of Asian mental health in general.
Yeah, yeah,
We did not talk about it. My parents didn't talk about it. My
yeah, yeah,
mother, I could witness firsthand that she
yeah.
was struggling, but she didn't have the words to be able to confront it or really seek the help. And so I
Right,
knew
right.
as I grew older, I needed to find some sort of safety,
Mm,
some sort of
mm,
therapy.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, when I was growing up,
Hmm.
I'm Chinese.
Hmm.
American. Crying is really bad.
Yeah,
Mood is bad. You're not supposed to have
yeah,
mood.
yeah, it is. And it's crazy because I was also a very sensitive child. And so
Mm.
crying is normal. It releases cortisol, right? But
Oh,
it,
I didn't know that. Oh, it's
yes,
release
it
of
does.
cortisol.
It's
Oh,
a release of everything and it's healthy
oh,
for you. But
okay.
crying, like you said, is often shamed. I was not allowed
Yeah,
to cry.
yeah,
And if they took it to personal offense, I think if we were
yeah.
showing crying
Weakness.
because
Yeah,
it's like weakness. Yes,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So how do you become a trauma coach? Like, was it
Yeah,
years and it's
it
like one day?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely no, not definitely not one day. It definitely took me thinking back to my life, thinking back to what I really wanted to do, and how can I align myself with something? Because also, I was in corporate for my early 20s and right out of college too. I was in a corporate job, but I knew there was this creative artist in me. I loved
Ah.
music and
Oh,
I
you do?
loved to
Oh,
create. Yeah, and I also songwrite and I sing.
no
So
way.
yeah,
Wow.
so with that, I just went back to that as part of my therapy journey, as part of just trying to get to know myself, trying to remember my hobbies and
Yeah.
learn myself again. And
Yeah.
through that, I built some self-trust to be able to go back to what do I want to do? How do I want to help people again? How do I
Oh,
find my value within the world where I can still be myself and not still feel like I have to be a part of a system where I have to be a people pleaser because that was a huge thing for me.
yeah. Self-trust. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
such a big word because we
it
always
is.
looking for trust in people, but it's ourselves that we need to do self-trust.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it takes a little bit to get there, really, for sure. Especially if
wow.
you've had the trauma and you've had to deal with a lot of the symptoms of mental
Yeah.
health
Yeah.
and you don't really know where to even begin. And so
Mm.
that's what I love helping people with because even though I'm still young and I'm still
Mm.
learning myself and still experiencing life myself, I think that we all have an inner child that
Mhm.
deserves to be set free first. And that's what I
Mm.
did with my music. And then it
Oh,
shapes you into your journey, your confidence as an adult,
oh,
even. So,
wow. Wow.
yeah.
I'm learning a lot from you.
I love that. No, that's
Wow.
what we need. We need more
Mm.
psychologically education too. I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was lacking, especially even in Asian culture. We don't
Yeah.
talk about psychology. We
Mm-mm.
don't talk
Mm-mm.
about mental health at
No.
all. It's
No.
often shamed, you know?
Yeah. 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 Hmm. So for
How, mhm.
yeah. Okay. Let me
Yeah,
think about my question.
absolutely. I know
So
there was a lot.
yeah. So what would be the first step? So let's say someone who experienced trauma. What would you recommend would be the first step to break free? Because
The first step is always awareness. It's always getting to know what happened and why it's happening to you. A
mhm.
lot of times we don't know why it's happening, and so we want to we want to place a lot of external factors as our reason why, and then we just
Yeah.
kind of keep going on this same wavelength for a while until we come
Yeah.
back home and we have to really self-reflect on these wounds and be
Yeah.
of why it's happening. It's a lot of psychology education. It's when an
Mhm.
experience impacts your brain that you put away in your subconscious sometimes and you don't
Oh.
realize, and then it drives the rest of your life sometimes. And it's
Mm.
it's the little stories we tell ourselves because of that too.
So usually in your first session with your client,
Mhm.
do you spend a lot of time in this awareness process?
Absolutely. I think that's kind of why I created a 3 month program for it
Oh,
because
okay.
within 3 months, you work on yourself and then I hold space for their emotions. I hold space for
Mm.
whatever they're processing that has led them here to this point to get help.
Right, right.
And it's a lot of psychology education.
Mm.
This might be your inner child talking to you. This how what have you experienced that is causing you to feel and think this way, and how can we be aware of it? Of course, that's the first
Mhm.
step. And then how
Mhm.
can we move forward, or how can we reframe it, or how can we start to build around it instead of making that the foundation as to how we carry ourselves. And yeah, it's just a lot of it's holding space for the emotion a lot of times. It's
A lot of time. And so do you guide them to go back to relook at the trauma now they are?
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes that's not helpful. Sometimes,
Mm.
looking at the past can often re-traumatize us and we don't even
Oh,
realize it because we're talking about it and it puts us back into that headspace.
yeah.
I think that's kind of where I broke through therapy myself. After 5 years, I
Yeah.
had enough because
Right.
I feel like the therapy was only continuously making me re experience all of my pain.
Oh,
wanted direction to what to do with it. I wanted more moving forward instead of looking back all of the time.
oh, okay,
So
okay.
yeah, therapy can be for it's different for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, right, 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 right.
And I just knew I was done with it. So I needed other options, I think.
The option, yeah. And then so then you became a coach after you were able to help
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. So, because I think I realized that I didn't want people to stay stuck the way that I was, and also they put me under a lot of medication. See, the
Mm,
systems they are protocoled to also have you as I mean, they find profit off of us sometimes too. I
mhm,
think
mhm.
when they give us these medications, they're only numbing the surface level symptoms. They're never
Right.
getting to the root of the issue,
Ooh.
which was my lack of self. It was
Oh,
my
okay.
sense of self I didn't have, and my sense of trust and my confidence, my self-love. The huge
Exactly.
thing. Yeah,
Wow. Mm.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I know I talk a lot too. There's a lot of good
No,
points
no,
in
no,
there.
no. It's good. It's good. I'm trying to
Mhm.
process. Uh,
I think if the world just vibrated on self-love, and if everybody
yeah,
had some sort of self-love,
yeah,
it would really stop the ripple effect of generational trauma and
yeah,
intergenerational trauma and just abuse and projections all the
yeah.
time. I don't
Right.
think even in Asian communities, we don't talk about the generational trauma that gets carried
Yeah,
on
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about generational
Yeah.
trauma. Like,
Yeah,
would you
absolutely.
elaborate on that?
So I know Koreans. For me, I can only speak for Koreans because I'm
Mm,
Korean, but
mm,
it's a lot of you have to be a certain way and get a certain amount of education and
mm.
not be creative. You have to be able to take care of your parents one day and
Oh,
be able to put other people, other elders first, and authority figures first. There's
yeah.
a lot of submission as an Asian culture and in Korean culture especially. So, for me to break out of this mold of I just can only be a doctor. I can't be an artist, and
Yeah,
I can't work on my creative
yeah.
dreams because that's not going to give me money, and I have to.
Actually, Chinese is like that too.
Yeah, yeah, right, right, and
Uh,
it's so yeah, so it's a lot of just we can't follow our heart. It's a lot of
yeah,
external things we have to chase
right,
first, and so
right.
coming back home is definitely the key. Well, what about Chinese culture too? It's kind of similar, right?
Yeah,
Education first.
yeah, similar. Yeah, yeah. You definitely
Mhm.
don't want to be an artist because you're going to be a starving artist.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But often the passion I found is what at least drives me to be confident with my voice, right? And be confident
Yes,
with at least everything else in life. It kind of all comes together.
right.
But yeah, it's a lot of submission, generational trauma, and also it was passed down from my parents to me. My parents are immigrants for a reason. I think they wanted to break
Oh,
out of Korea. They wanted to
right.
see
Hmm.
something new. They wanted to build a
Yeah,
new life here.
yeah.
Um, they often didn't talk about their own symptoms and their own anxiety,
Oh,
their own
okay.
depression. So, it caused a lot of stress. And I sadly lost my older brother as well 3 years
Oh,
ago
oh, sorry to
to
hear that.
cancer. And yeah, I think he was carrying a lot of the weight that we didn't realize either,
Mm,
of
mm,
worrying and anxiety and wanting to be able to provide as the eldest son. Yeah.
yeah. So that I think in our previous conversation that was one of your
Mhm.
motivation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, it was. Yeah,
mhm,
it's terrible, and it's terrible that it happened, but it really caused us as a family to look within and come together and value each other.
mm,
Because also in my early 20s when I was seeking therapy, I had cut out my mother, and it was a hard time for me. I felt so terrible that
mm,
I had to cut her out, but I knew
mm,
that I was pushed to that point because she also was not helping me feel
mm,
better within myself. So it was a hard time, and it helped us realize what was very important was
mm.
community and talking about it. And
Yeah, yeah,
and
I
it
agree.
caused it, it happened after death, unfortunately, but
Mm,
there's a bright side to things for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Mm. So how's your relationship with your mom now?
It's much better, and both of my parents actually, it's much better. It's
Oh,
we both get to be able to not heal our generational trauma, but she
mm,
often also feels very safe to talk to me about her own mother and the things that she, also
Wow. So
experienced.
you're healing both generations,
Yes,
down
yes,
and up.
we're healing at a soul level, and we're seeing each other
Oh,
for the human beings that we are now, instead of
yeah.
this disconnect dynamic of, but you're
Yeah.
supposed to be my mother, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this?
Oh,
Instead
wow.
of that, it's now opening the conversation to, wow, we can heal together. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
We can let ourselves be open, at least. And she's more willing to open to listen as well. I think,
You know,
things happen for a reason.
I think that's the breaking point.
It is. It
That's the breaking
absolutely
point.
is. And this only happened right when I became a coach as well, when I was learning all of this, when I
Yeah.
wanted to help serve
Yeah.
back. The ultimate test for me was to face my mother,
Yeah, of
to
course, of
reconcile.
course, of course.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah,
It hit home.
it is. No, honestly, and mother-daughter wounds are hard. I think we all
Yeah,
have
yeah,
them, whether we
yeah.
know it or not.
Yep, yep.
As an adult, especially, it's important, and so it was freeing. It's definitely freeing.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm so, so, so proud of you because I think
Oh,
that I think improving mother and daughter relationship, that's has been my challenge all my life.
oh, it's a challenge. It's a
Mhm.
challenge, and I will say that's still a challenge. I
Mhm.
sometimes she still says things that I don't agree with, and
Mhm.
it's still a challenge. But it's with
Yeah,
mindful boundaries. It's with giving ourselves
yeah,
our own reparenting talk, what we wish she could have
yeah,
said, and then really trying to form some boundaries if we can.
yeah.
Maybe talk about it another time. Maybe it's not the time right now to talk about it anymore. Yeah,
Right,
it's just a lot
right.
of boundaries. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard. It's ongoing. It's ongoing as
that's
long as we live,
ongoing.
I think.
Yep, yep, it's ongoing. So
Yep.
your in your coaching, do you
Mhm.
is it just talking with your client or do you help them like journaling,
Yes.
visualization?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, all of it. So what helped me
Hmm.
was music, of course, but any
Okay.
form of art, any
Any
form
form
of
of
art is
art.
perfect.
Oh.
And that can be journaling at first. That can
So
be,
if they're good in writing, that would be
yes, yes,
journaling.
if they want to write. And I think, most of us want to, I can't say for everyone, but I think most of us have some sort of inner voice to let it out.
Yes, yes.
And also, shadow work. Shadow work is
Yeah, what
our
is
inner
shadow work?
shadow work is kind of like our inner child, or it's our subconscious limiting beliefs too, if you've ever heard of
Oh.
that. It is what we formed because of our experiences, the beliefs that we tell ourselves because
Hmm.
of these experiences.
Yeah.
And so whenever we're triggered, it's good
Hmm.
to do some shadow work. Whenever we feel stressed about something, whenever something is really
Yeah.
bothering us, it's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
good to ask ourselves good questions for our shadow. Things like, and I
Oh.
provide journal prompts for my
Yeah.
clients for this reason, so that they
Right.
can take their own time to go in. I don't
Oh.
necessarily need the answers. I think everyone has the answer for
Yes,
themselves, as
yes,
long as
yes.
they are given the time to do it and the right questions to do it.
Yes. Wow. So
Yeah.
do you meet your client in person or only virtually?
So that was actually a learning challenge for me. I am now meeting people in person.
Oh,
I only contained myself to online. I thought I would have a good reach online.
yeah.
However, I had to
Hmm.
test myself too. I have to go out there in the world, and not just conform myself to
Yeah,
online. I have to really market myself in person. And
yeah,
I realized that a lot of people in my community are missing this. I think only people know about therapy. They don't
yeah,
know much about life coaches yet either.
yeah, yes, yes.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so it's
Yeah,
a difference. It's a difference. I'm not licensed. I don't have the formal title behind me as to be a
yeah,
doctor or anything. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
right.
do all of that. But
Hmm.
as a life coach, I like to be a personal person to hold you
Yeah,
accountable. And
yep,
I always encourage them to be their best version of themselves, not
yes,
what I think they should be.
yes, yes.
It's building their own self trust and wherever that takes them. So it's a
Uh,
lot of shadow work, a lot of intuition, healing.
Intuition. Wow,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I cannot wait to meet you in person one
I
day.
know, right? Oh yeah, oh my gosh, I love that. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
I hope so what about you though? How about your generational trauma as well? I mean, where have you learned, and with your mother relationship even, what have you learned about yourself too through it?
Oh, that's a good question. So for
Yeah.
me, like you said, what you just said, there's
Hmm.
certain thing that you just keep it for another day to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the
Yeah.
past, like it would be like drilling. Oh, you have the
Yes.
result now, but no, no, not necessary. Just
No.
yeah, because the next day, you always see things differently.
Yes, that's true. And
Yeah,
it's letting go of resentment, I think, too.
yeah,
Resentment builds. It really
yeah,
does. And,
yeah.
and and I think that's what I wish I knew before I had completely cut my mom off, is all of that resentment had built and it got me so angry and
Oh,
made me feel so broken. So, but
yeah.
it's okay. I think everything happens for a reason. So
Yeah, I think for me the biggest lesson is expectation because we
yeah,
expect our mom to know everything, and then my
we
mom was
do.
very young. I think she was probably like Chinese age is 18, but American age
Wow.
is usually 16, right? They
That's
always
still very young.
they
Yeah.
always add like another 1 year 2 year to it, right? Yeah,
Yes, same with
yeah,
Korean. Yeah,
yeah.
we're actually supposed to be a year older.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, because
I'm technically 29.
it counted when you're inside your mother's
Yes,
womb.
isn't
Yeah.
that funny? That's so
Oh,
cool. I didn't know
oh,
that either.
yeah, I did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I tell people say don't come out like on December 31st because the next day you're gonna be 2 years old.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Yes, yes, you're so right. I didn't think about that. Wow, I wonder how they count their age then.
That's how it is because they count
That's so
by
funny.
when you were born, you're
Hmm.
1 year,
One.
and
Right.
then there's a calendar year, right? The
Yes.
next day, if it happened to be January 1st, you're 2 years old.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Wow.
Yeah, so I have an auntie that was born right on January 1st, so she got her whole full year.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, she does. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. I also didn't know the connection between even Chinese culture. They do that. It's ancient Asian
Yeah,
culture, I guess, right?
I don't know like Japanese other one,
Right, right. Me neither.
yeah, but I didn't know about the Korean either. Now
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know.
That's so funny. Yeah, my mom's always like, "Oh, that means you're 29 in Korean." I'm like,
I
"Yeah,
say no,
I
no,
guess so."
no, no.
I know, right? I'm like, "Don't put me older."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Wow.
amazing. And so yeah, you're working. I think we're always actively working on our mother-daughter relationship. We do
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
them to be our caretakers, right? We do expect them
Right. So,
to,
so the expectations,
yeah.
I think once
Hmm.
I lower the expectation, and the other one is gratitude, right? Because
Yeah.
instead of focusing on their weakness, like, oh, how come, she doesn't understand me, she doesn't accept
Hmm.
me, all these things, focus on all the little thing that she has done for me. So every time I see my
Yeah.
mom, she always cooks. She would spend hours making my favorite food and all that. So
Oh,
yeah, so
yeah.
I think if I put a lot more weight on gratitude and
Yes.
then zero weight on expectation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's where it's freeing. And
yeah,
often
yeah.
we don't really know this, and I didn't know that until I had reached my breaking point too. And I
Mm,
was like, why I don't want to think of my mother in that way anymore,
mm,
right? Like I don't
hmm
want to think of her as my abuser of my life.
hmm
That keeps me trapped, and
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to be
yeah, yeah. It's
trapped
all
into
in
that.
us. It's
It's
basically all
absolutely,
in
and
us.
it takes a lot of internal work. It takes a lot of self-control too to get
Yeah,
there,
yeah, it's so
discipline
good.
to get it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But
Yeah,
it's healing, it's freeing. It's
yeah,
you know what? I'm going to choose to see it in a better light instead of
yeah.
choosing to only focus on the bad. Absolutely.
Wow, you're so young and you're already so wise. For me,
Oh, thank
I
you. That's a really good compliment. I'm trying to accept that. It's been hard for me to accept compliments.
yeah, same here.
Yeah, and it heals my imposter syndrome in me too. I'm
Yeah,
only
yeah,
about a year and a half into coaching, and it helps me see, okay, maybe I can trust in my wisdom, right? So yeah, thank you so much. I feel the same way about you. I think we have a mutual
yeah,
energy agreement that
yeah.
we kind of pick up on each other, and I love that too. It helps me.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So,
Yeah.
for our audience to reach you, what's the
Mhm.
best way to reach out to you?
So you can find me on social media or you can follow me. And I do have a Google booking calendar, or you can
Mm.
just direct message me.
Okay.
And either way is fine, and we can talk about it. I give free video, text, or call
Oh,
consultations. So whatever
oh,
you're most comfortable with, I
okay.
will respond to you,
Okay.
and then we can go from there. I'll ask you some questions.
Mhm.
Sometimes you might not be for me. Sometimes you could find a different coach, or maybe you still can work with your therapist and with me. But
Mm.
either way, follow me on social media and you can kind of scroll through my content. And I like to
Okay.
bring out content too, so you can see who I kind of am and what I like to say. Yeah.
So are you mostly on Instagram?
I'm mostly on Instagram. That's my main focus.
So what's
But
your
I
Instagram name?
Yeah, so I am at Coach Laura J. Kim,
Oh, okay.
and that's my name. The J is my middle name for Jin Shil. That's my Korean name.
Oh, that's so
So
beautiful. Okay.
yeah,
So,
I kind of think about putting it back in, but we'll see when that time comes.
okay, okay, okay.
But that's how
Cool.
you can find me.
Cool. Yeah, so I will put that on the comment on the description when we upload
Thank
this
you. Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, absolutely.
Right. Any last thoughts, advice for the
Um,
audience?
Oh, I think, well, if I were to say anything, if there's anything to take away from this, I say work on your sense of peace and happiness. It is the
Oh,
best thing that you can do for yourself and for others. So,
oh,
yeah, I think that's really the takeaway. And I appreciate collaborating with you on this too.
oh,
And
thank you. No, I'm very, it's such an honor to have you as my
thank you.
guest. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, same here. And to connect as fellow Asian women, we're breaking
Mhm.
other deeper cycles here too. So I'm just so honored too. Yeah.
Yes, let's rock.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you as well. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you so much for everyone listening as well.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share. See you soon at Your Win Podcast.